And what have we here? Sand's a touch cooler down here. Ooh, this is interesting. Sand's a touch cooler down here. Oh, whoops. Well now, what's this? I can't dig any deeper. Just sand and dirt. Oh, whoops. I found something. Sand's a touch cooler down here. Say, this looks promising. Must be my lucky day. This comes with me. Surprised I haven't hit bedrock yet. I can't dig any deeper. Just sand and dirt. Ooh, this is interesting. Say, this looks promising. And what have we here? I can't dig any deeper. Ooh, this is interesting. I could probably get a few crowns for this. Ooh, this is interesting. Well now, what's this? I could probably get a few crowns for this. Phew. I've been at this long enough.
All right, place everything you found on the table here and we'll have a look. Not a bad yield. You found some quality fossils. As for your companion, goodness, you've also found some wonderful fossils. This is quite a collection. Here is your fee, as we agreed. Thank you again for your assistance.
Don't mention it. Good luck with your exhibition. Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure.
So did you get PD's memorial sorted out?
Yeah, I think so. It was hard saying goodbye, but I needed to do it.
Goodbyes aren't easy. Never quite got the hang of them myself.
No?
I don't like to stick around in one place too long, so eventually I just move on. Figure I'll be back around again sometime later. But you don't always get another chance for a proper farewell.
Well, I hope you're not planning on leaving us just yet.
Nah, I like to finish what I start. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
You think that charlatan at the spring learned his lesson?
I doubt he'll be trying that little scheme again anytime soon.
How about another story?
Sure! Here's one about the time I lassoed a rabid coyote. And that's how I ended up with this scar.
Leger, get up here a minute, would you?
What's going on?
I don't much care for the looks of that sky.
No? Looks fine to me.
Give it half an hour and it won't. There's a dust storm coming. We need to seek shelter fast.
We can't just stop and wait it out on the wagon?
Even secured, there's a chance it could blow over. I'm not risking it. There's a house up ahead a ways. We'll stop and see if we can shelter there.
All right. I'll let the others know. Lola wasn't kidding about the storm picking up. Is someone living here? That sky is bad news. Hello? Anybody home? No answer. And wouldn't you know it, it's locked. Good thing I've got these lockpicks. Oh!
Can I help you with something?
My companions and I need a place to ride out the storm. We thought this house was abandoned.
Well, it's not. But how many are ye?
There's 6 of us. That's our wagon back there on the road.
Well then, go fetch 'em.
You're sure?
I won't have ye blow away on me porch. And you'll be keeping an old man company. So long as you're not bandits or thieves, are ye?
No, sir. We're fortune seekers. Of an honest sort.
Then we'll be getting along just fine. Now, get your folk in here quick, before we all get whisked to Kingdom Come.
Appreciate you letting us ride out the storm in here, sir. Mighty good of you.
Ah, of course. As I told your mate, I'm glad for the company. Welcome to me home. I'm Captain Philip Boylan.
Pleasure's all ours. I'm Jake Ackerman. And this is Miss Leger, Mr. Luo, Mr. Marquez, Ms. Redbird, and Miss Johnson.
Fine-looking crew, sure. And not to worry, there's plenty of space here. I've a spare room upstairs and a settee in the library.
We're grateful for your hospitality. Anything we can help with?
As a matter of fact, there is. I was about to start supper. Seeing as I'm setting extra places, I could use a couple more hands.
I'd be glad to help.
As would I.
Ah, grand.
Could you use another?
Sure. All right, shall we? The rest of ye, make yourselves at home. I'll sound the gong when supper's ready. Excellent work, galley crew. We'll be feasting within the hour.
You're fortunate to be so well provisioned. We recently visited a community that was having trouble with their crops, although Harley found a way to help.
So, Captain,
Aye?
what are we helping you prepare anyway?
I'll give you a clue. It's got potatoes in. But seriously, why ruin the mystique? You'll find out soon enough.
Captain, I was wondering,
Aye?
where did you get that gong?
Oh, That were a gift from an old friend who spent a few years sailing out of Shanghai. Is that from whereabouts ye hail yourself, Mr. Luo?
Me? Oh, no. That is, my parents came over from China, though I'm not sure where exactly. They never talk much about it. But my brother and I were both born in El Presidio.
Ah,
So have you ever been to China?
No. I hope to go someday, though. Maybe I can convince Jake to take his show overseas once this trip's over.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. How come your parents didn't tell you where they came from?
They don't like talking about their old lives. I eventually gave up asking.
Such a shame. I never knew where my parents came from either.
well, the important thing is we're enjoying each other's company right here and now.
Right.
Well, this should be plenty, thank ye. Why not go rest up? I'll sound the gong when supper's ready.
That was lovely. What an interesting life he's led.
I bet he's got as many stories as Jake. Speaking of which, I better go find him.
I'm going to look in the library. See you at dinner.
Miss Legere, eager for your supper?
Just looking around.
I'll sound the gong when it's ready.
That probably goes to a closet or a basement or something. If I had to guess, I'd say this came from someplace in Africa. A seaside landscape. I'm detecting a theme. Captain Boylan sure has gotten around.
It seems the good captain is an avid reader.
No kidding. Who's that?
Palace, I believe.
These shelves are full of ship's logbooks. Captain Boylan had a long career. Nautical adventures, war stories, medieval romances, and frontier tales. We're in the middle of the desert, but it feels like we could be at sea. That's a nice instrument.
Isn't she? Very finely crafted. I wonder how the captain came by her.
A poker for stoking the fire. Atlases, travelogues, and naval histories. Such an intricate design.
Must have taken ages to carve.
A gentum jug.
Say that 5 times fast.
I'm no expert, but it looks old, foreign, and valuable. Some kind of navigational instrument. I haven't a clue how it works. Admiring the captain's collection?
I am. Such Curious objects.
Classical dialogues, poetry, and natural philosophy. Quite a collection, huh?
You know, Dr. Sedgwick was also fond of collecting. Not like this, though. Mostly things like medical diagrams, antique surgical implements, and wax anatomical models. When I was young, I used to go into his office to sneak peeks at the old books that had illustrations of people showing different afflictions. Pustules and lesions, scrofula, all the venereal diseases at once, that sort of thing. They were kind of horrifying, but also strangely fascinating.
Why, Nadine, you absolute scamp. The label says Barbados rum. A painting of a harbor. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. The port of Gascon, if I'm not mistaken. Been years since I've seen it. A plain old sea chest. Wasted no time making yourself comfortable, I see.
My back's been acting up lately, you know? Truth is, it's been a while since I was out on the road like this, camping with only a bedroll every night. Guess I got used to inns and soft mattresses, and there's a decent bed in the show wagon. Now, it ain't like I've gone soft or nothing, just, you know, showing my old bones some love.
Nice to be able to freshen up. Nice to be able to freshen up. Storm's still going.
I'm glad we found a safe place to stay.
Evocative scene.
Don't stare at that painting too long or you'll get seasick.
Speaking from experience.
Let's just say I'm glad it's on the wall behind me. We can chat after supper. Right now, I could use a rest.
I can't remember the last time this table was so full. How are ye finding the fare?
Not bad.
Most satisfactory.
The very soul of rustic simplicity. Quite simple and, unadorned.
And no adornment needed. My compliments to the kitchen. But then I'm not exactly impartial.
In any case, it's been a real pleasure having a proper meal at a table.
Been roughing it then?
And how? A campfire don't compare to this.
Where are ye folks headed?
El Presidio.
Ah, I used to sail out of there.
Captain, I must admit I'm curious to know more about you.
Well, I'm flattered, Miss Leger. Although, I can assure ye there's nothing much exciting about this old sea dog. At least not nowadays.
You said you sailed from El Presidio, Captain Boylan?
Aye, for many a year. I used to captain a whaler.
No kidding. You must have some stories.
A fair few. I could tell ye about the largest beast we ever snared. The one what took me leg.
Go on then, tell us.
It was back in 25. We was circling a lagoon off the coast of New Spain. We were on the point of giving up, when suddenly, a great monster breaches off the port bow. She was the biggest I'd ever seen. I shouted the order to launch the whaleboats in pursuit. Me men put all their backs and all their hearts into rowing, and soon we was on her. All around, the water was churning white with foam. The beast surfaced again so close, we nearly capsized. But the harpooner had steady legs, and a steadier aim on him, and he struck true. Then, the battle began. Oh, how she thrashed and reared. Somehow, the rope got wrapped round me leg and pulled and tore almost clean through. I thought I was a goner for sure, but it wasn't over yet. At last, the beast tired out. We hauled her in just as it was getting dark. Cutting her up was no easy job. She was 50 foot if she was an inch. Got a good sum for all that oil and blubber. But it wasn't only the whale went under the knife that night. Doc cut me up too, taking care of what little was left of me leg by that point. Saved me life.
Quite a tale.
That poor creature.
I doubt you'd feel that way if you met one yourself, Missy.
How about we just finish our dinner? If anybody has an appetite left after that story.
Aye, fair enough. No, that was a fine meal. And a fine meal should be followed by some fine rum and conversation. Would ye care to join me in the library?
That sounds like a perfect way to pass the evening.
I'm going to retire. Sounds like the storm's died down, so I'm bunking in the wagon.
You sure that's a good idea, Miss Johnson?
I'm sure. See y'all bright and early.
Sure you won't have some rum, Miss Redbird?
I'm sure. Thank you.
And for you, Miss Leger.
You can spare me a pour as well, Captain.
Aye, fair enough. A toast to new friends.
Cheers! Damn, where'd you say this stuff came from?
A gift from an old friend in Barbados. Best rum in the world, in my opinion. Got plenty more in me cellar. You're welcome to it. Now then, Mr. Marquez, I had a question for ye.
I may have an answer.
Am I mistaken, or are ye of the new Spanish persuasion?
I am, yes.
Ha ha ha! Grand! I'd like ye to have this. She belonged to an old friend of mine. New Spanish, like yourself. He used to play the most beautiful music. He left her to me when he died, but I always felt she should return to her proper home, as it were.
I'm honored.
Suppose I ought to have asked if you play.
In fact, I do. A little bit, anyway.
Go on, then. Give us a song.
Very well, but let me tune her first. That should do. Now, let's see if I remember.
Goodness, that was beautiful. Where did you learn that?
Thank you, Harley. I had a tutor as a child. My father insisted I learn to play something, so I chose the guitar.
Well, ain't you just full of surprises?
I think this calls for another round.
Hear, hear.
It's been a grand evening. But this old salt needs his beauty sleep. Stay up late as ye like. All I ask is ye not disturb me in me quarters. I'm not a light sleeper, but I can be a right bastard when startled.
I promise we'll steer clear and tiptoe quieter than the angels. Good night, Captain.
See y'all in the morning.
Don't know about you folks, but I ain't ready to bed down just yet.
Yes, the night is still young.
Let's say we have a couple more rounds.
And the rum's all gone now.
Captain Boylan said he had more in the cellar.
I'll just go fetch a bottle or two. bad news. Cellar's locked.
Oh, chingada.
Guess the party's over, then?
Not necessarily. Harley, would you be so kind as to apply your skills to our little problem?
Oh no, you can just forget it. I'm not breaking into the cellar.
Who said anything about breaking in? We have permission. The lock is merely an oversight on the part of our host.
Just give it a try. If you can't do it, we'll yield.
I said no.
If Harley won't get that door open, I will.
I think that may be an even worse idea.
Are you going to blow the door open with dynamite?
Of course not. But I will find a way. Unless Harley has had a change of heart.
Okay, fine. I'll get the door open. I've still got my lockpick, so it'll be a cinch.
Atta girl. Let us know when you done it.
The cellar door. Locked.
Time's a wasting, Harley. Get that door open so we can keep the party going.
Please try not to get us in any trouble, Harley.
Locked. Shouldn't be too tricky. I've seen this kind of lock plenty of times. The tension key. A hook pick. A snake pick. A diamond pick. Well, I'll be. Jake? Phil? I got it.
Nice work, Harley. Now let's go get that rum.
I cannot see a thing down here.
How about we light that wall lamp?
This will help us see down here if we can light it. A piece of petrified wood from the desert. An old Spanish doubloon. An ancient arrowhead I found buried in the desert. full of matches. Don't mind if I do. The dinner gong. Can't imagine it gets much use. One of the doors is slightly open. I shouldn't be snooping around. Not without a good reason, anyway. Well stocked, but not with anything I need. Definitely not the one that got away. Captain Boylan keeps a tidy house. For an old sea captain, Boylan's got some rather modern conveniences. It's empty. For an old... Much better.
Now, about that rum.
What was that?
Sounded like the captain's voice. Come on. You heard it too, huh?
Yes, it came from upstairs, I think.
It sounded like Captain Boylan, but aren't his quarters on this floor?
I thought the same.
Perhaps we should go see if he's all right.
Yep, you and Miss Redbird check the spare room. Danny and I'll check the bedroom. Harley, you look in the captain's quarters. We ain't got time to lose.
This door goes into the captain's quarters. Odd. Captain Boylan's not here. Where could he have gone? The captain still has some old country pride. I can just hear Joni. A quill and ink, how charming! No mirror. I guess Captain Boylan doesn't do much preening here. Looks like a sea bunk. Guess old habits die hard. The storm has eased up some. A set of keys. One of them must unlock the cellar. No need to worry about that anymore, though. An old oak wardrobe. An old oak wardrobe. Can't really see anything in here. The others are looking upstairs. I need to check the captain's quarters. Hang on. What's this? There's a small switch in the back. Well, I'll be damned. Captain! You're still breathing, thank God. Hang on, I'll get help.
He appears to be fine physically, but he seems to be in some sort of trance.
A trance? How do you mean?
His eyes are open, but he's not really awake. He's gone within himself. I've seen people do this voluntarily, to meditate or relive certain memories, but Captain Boylan seems trapped.
Is there anything we can do?
I'm not entirely sure. Did he say anything when you found him, Harley?
Not a word.
I'm at a loss. Something brought this on, but what?
Could it have something to do with this room? If he went to the trouble of building a secret passage, it must have some significance to him.
That's a very good point. I would say this place is a sanctuary.
But from what? The man lives alone in the desert already. What's he need a secret sanctuary for?
Look, on the wall there.
It's a sketch of Captain Boylan with 5 other men. His crew, maybe? There's a signature. A. Kranich.
Kranich! God forgive me.
Captain, can you hear me?
The dome? The dome!
What doom? What do you mean?
I came from nowhere. I ought to have taken heed. I ought to have let it take me.
Captain? Captain? He's unresponsive again.
Poor man. It's clear he's suffering.
I only wish I could diagnose the cause.
I think I have an idea.
Yes?
That chair, the way it's positioned, facing that sketch, this room being hidden, I think something happened to those men. Something bad. And I think the captain blames himself for it. He probably comes in here to punish himself.
Oh, how you figure that?
Because, well, call it a hunch.
I don't know. Seems kind of far-fetched, don't it?
Not entirely. I've read some of the new theories about the study of the mind. A particularly traumatic event may have shaken Captain Boylan's sanity.
So, he has gone mad?
Yes, but he may not be beyond help. We could try to reach him. I could try a form of hypnosis.
Oh, sure. That's where you get him to cluck like a chicken, right?
Not at all. It means he would be calmed and put into a receptive state. Then we could speak directly with his unconscious mind. But to have the best chance, we would have to recreate the environment he's experiencing as accurately as possible.
Recreate the environment? Just how do you propose we do that?
We must each take on a role.
Oh, you mean like play acting?
Something like that. If we can each convincingly assume the identities of the men in that sketch, the captain may feel they are truly here with him. His fantasy will become clear, and we'll be able to guide him through and out of it.
Sounds just crazy enough to work.
But we know nothing about these men, aside from what they look like.
Which means we need to find out more. The more details we have, the better.
Then let's put this show together. Harley, you're good at finding things. See if Captain Boylan had a diary or something.
All right, I'm on it.
I must admit, this is all very odd. Though I do pity the captain.
Let me know when you found something that might tell us who those fellers in the sketch are.
I hope we're able to help the captain.
Poor Captain Boylan. It's not easy living with demons.
There's gotta be something we can do for him. There's gotta be... Storm seems to be passing. That's Captain Boylan on the left. The 5 other men must be his crew, but I have no idea who any of them are. Boylan set up a sort of shrine from the look of it. There's an old book in here. A journal. Better take it. There's not much in here. I guess Captain Boylan didn't care much for writing. Here's an interesting passage.
Fisher landed another whale today on his first shot. I asked him how he managed it. Turns out he's been tying his wife's kerchief to the harpoon handle. Swears it brings luck and improves his aim. Ah, to be young and in love.
There's not much in here. Here's an...
Fisher landed,
Not much inside. There is a folded up piece of paper. Seems to be a recipe for sea biscuits. There's a note. Your favorites. Told you they were simple to make. Perhaps someday you can whip some up for me. It's initialed GOM. Imagine bringing down a giant whale with something like that. Can't reach it from down here. These shelves are full. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Nautical adventure. Atlases. Classical. I wouldn't even. The plaque says, oh, that's interesting. And that other one there looks like one of the men in the attic sketch. I need to figure out exactly who it is. The port of Gascon. Spare linens and an old sketch. A sketch of a ship, the Derwent. There's a note. Captain Boylan, looking forward to our first voyage together. Signed A. Cranach. Cranach? That's the same name on the sketch in the attic. So the Derwent must be the ship I'm looking for. There's an empty bottle and a note in here. I'll take the note. Captain Boylan, I recommend taking 1 nitroglycerin tablet per day and avoiding overexcitement. Dr. Francois. Nice to be. It's empty. Finely carved. Must be quality craftsmanship. Looks like a navigational chart. I'll take it with me. There's a path drawn around an island that says Detour. The name of the island's been crossed out. I wonder what old Captain Boylan uses this for. Stargazing? Can't see much aside from the wagon parked down there. Captain Boylan was quite dashing in his youth. A musty-smelling mess of laundry. I'll take this hat. I can just make out the wagon through the dust. At least it hasn't blown away. A ship in a dense fog. Hey, I've seen this sort of thing before. I believe it's called Scrimshaw. It's got an old sailing ship on it. It's been carved with a whale design. It's got a seabird on it, a pelican, I think. Someone carved a lighthouse onto this. It doesn't do much for me. This is the water closet. here we are, the logbook for the Derwent. The Derwent sailed out of El Presidio in 1830. Listed crew is Captain Philip Boylan, First Mate Michael Benelli, Navigator Karenga Payo, Harpooner Jalal Fisher, Dr. Jonas Francois, Cook George O'Malley, and Alfred Cranach, profession unlisted. No rum in here, surprisingly. Looks sturdy, but lightweight. Probably full of more rum. Another unlit lamp. There we are. This crate's been emptied. Enough rum to last a lifetime, or an evening. An old navigational chart looks awfully familiar. These two charts show the same land masses. The island crossed out on my chart is called Hastram Skerry. The Derwent and Alf. I found the ship's log for the crew in the sketch.
Nicely done. Let's have a look. All right, so we've got a first mate, navigator, harpooner, doctor, cook, and artist. We can probably leave that last one out.
Okay, so Danny can be the cook, Nadine the doctor, Phil the harpooner, you can be the navigator, and I'll be the first mate.
Oh, don't you think I ought to be the first mate?
Does it really matter?
Reckon not. Right, now all we need are some props.
Props?
Sure, for authenticity. Have another look at the sketch. Each of the crewmen is either wearing or holding something unique.
Jake's right. If we each have the appropriate item, it will increase our chances of convincing the captain that we are his former crew. I'd also suggest trying to learn at least one personal detail about each one, just in case.
Okay, I'll have a look around.
Bring me any items you find.
And let me know when you're ready to begin the performance.
This is a lot to keep track of. I'd better make a list. That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log, these other men are harpooner Jalal Fisher, cook George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, First Mate Michael Benelli, and Navigator Karenga Payo. That's Captain Boylan. According to the ship's log, these The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. And that looks like First Mate Benelli. They must have been shipmates. I can just hear Joni. The captain won't miss this for now. Here, this is the hat First Mate Benelli wore.
Perfect. I'll hang on to it.
A spyglass for Navigator Payo.
Great.
Here's a carved whale tooth for Dr. Francois.
This one's you, Miss Redbird.
I found this inkwell and quill. Should work for drawing O'Malley's tattoo on Danny.
Right. I'll hold on to this thing until it's time.
Here's a harpoon for Mr. Fisher.
All right, this one's yours, Phil.
I do hope this works.
Nice work, Harley. I think we got all the props we need.
Is everything ready to go? Keep in mind, we'll likely only get one chance at this.
I think so. I've found everything I can.
Excellent. Let's gather everything together and get started. I'll begin. Then we can each say who we are. Captain Boylan, hear the voices of your former crew.
Me crew?
Go ahead, Harley. You start.
First Mate Michael Benelli reporting for duty, Captain Boylan.
Michael! Can it be?
Captain Boylan, it's Karenga Payo, your navigator.
Payo! You're alive?
Captain Boylan, it's me, George O'Malley. Supper is almost ready.
Ah, yes, I can smell it. Delicious.
Captain Boylan, I am Jalal Fisher, harpooner.
Of course, Fisher! I knew you'd made it.
And I am Dr. Jonas Francois.
Doc! Oh, Doc, how I've needed ye. Me crew? Can it be?
Yes, Captain. We've come to speak with you.
But you're not some devils sent to trick me?
We are not, I assure you.
Prove it then, Benelli. If it's truly yourself, tell me the name of the ship we served on before the Derwent.
How could I forget the Corona?
Aye, an unforgettable ship she was. Ah, Michael. I don't know how it'd be possible, but it's good you're back. Pio!
Aye, Captain.
Remind me of the course correction ye made this morning?
We're going around Hostrom Scary.
That's right. I remember now. Fine work, Pio. That'll surely save us some time. Fisher, have ye your harpoon at the ready?
Aye, sir.
And your aim will be true?
Yes, I have my wife's lucky kerchief tied to the handle.
Ah, good. Then our hunt is sure to succeed. O'Malley?
Sir?
I believe I know that delicious scent. But remind me what it is you're making.
Oh, why, your favorite, of course. Sea biscuits.
As I suspected, I can hardly wait for a taste.
Captain, I recommend you take it easy.
Why is that, Dr. Francois?
I don't want you to put any stress on your heart. Have you been taking your nitroglycerin tablets?
I have. I think I have. I can't believe what I'm seeing and hearing, but y'all are really here. But how can this be? I saw y'all dragged under. I can't make sense of this.
Perhaps you still can. Tell us what you remember.
20 years ago, the Derwent left El Presidio on the hunt for whales. We'd been out for months, with almost naught to show for it. A wretched haul, wretched pay. Benelli came to me, saying the crew was getting agitated, yearning for home. Forgive me, Benelli. I ought to have listened to you. After the third time you tried to speak sense, I tossed you in the brig for insubordination. One more, I said. We'll not turn for home before we bring in one more whale. Hio and Fisher, at least, were keen. I saw the signs, but didn't want to believe them. Didn't want to turn back. But there was a devil of a storm brewing, and he brought us down. Poor Benelli, locked in the brig, to drown like a rat. And the rest of ye didn't stand a chance once the ship turned over. Brave, brave Fisher. You saved me life when it ought to have been me what went down with the Derwent. Ah, lads, that night's been eating away at me for 20 years. How I wish I could go back. How I wish I could make things right.
But you can't. The past is the past, and what's done is done. The best you can do is learn to accept and live with it.
But how? You 5 brave men died because of me.
Yet you were given a second chance. You can tell our story. Make sure we're never forgotten. Honor our memory.
It won't ever stop hurting. But you can take the pain and turn it into something good.
I suppose you're right. I swear I'll do right by all of ye. Thank ye. You've given me a moment of peace. I hope to God you've found it as well. Oh, I am weary.
Think it worked?
I hope so. Come, we should get some sleep. And let's refrain from mentioning this to the captain in the morning.
Appreciate your hospitality, Captain.
Think nothing of it. I hope you all slept well.
Very much so. And yourself?
Best sleep I've had in years.
I'm glad to hear it.
Ye said you were headed to El Presidio?
That's right.
Then I wonder if I might trouble ye for a small favour. I've a letter needs delivering. Could I entrust it to ye?
Of course.
My thanks. I'd also like to leave ye with a couple of mementos for being so quick to volunteer and help out. Mr. Luo and Miss Redbird, please, take this bottle of Barbadian rum. Perhaps ye might split it between ye. Makes dull work go faster.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind.
And for you, Miss Leger, this tea caddy. I carved the inlay myself.
It's beautiful.
Best of luck on your journey. And if ye ever pass this way again, feel free to knock on me door.
Thanks, Captain, we will.
Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. I can't say for sure whether we truly helped him for good and all, but he seemed himself again when he saw us off this morning. I do believe he was truly lonely in his self-imposed exile and grateful for even the brief company we offered. After traveling half the day, we've stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion into the desert. For what purpose, I shall soon learn.
Thank you for accompanying me, Harley.
Not a problem. What are we doing, exactly?
Since we're passing through this area, I thought this would be the perfect chance to gather some medicinal herbs for my kit. There are a number of plants with useful properties that are likely to grow around here.
Okay. What are we looking for?
To start, we should find some gumweed. I already spotted some from the wagon earlier. You'll recognize it by the bright yellow flowers and serrated leaves. I'll search further this way. Call out when you've got some.
It's a beautiful wooden box with an inlaid scrimshaw carving. Says it's from Ceylon. There's some tea in here. Leftover tea from the other side of the world. It's got a nice fruity aroma, kind of sweet. It's addressed to the Widow Bonelli. There's no specific address, it just says El Presidio. No flowers on this one. Nadine! I found some gumweed.
Excellent work, Harley. Now, I still have some more herbs on my list.
So, what's next?
Desert lavender, though I don't see any here. Let's keep going. There may be some up ahead.
So, what's next?
Let's keep...
Bright red flowers. White flowers with purple edges. There's a hole in that cactus. I can just make out the shape of an egg. Hey, look! Over there.
Oh dear. It's a coyote. He's sick.
Is that a badger?
Badgers and coyotes often hunt together. Clearly this badger is protecting his friend.
Is there anything we can do to help the coyote?
We can certainly try. I can't get close enough while the badger is here. They can be quite fierce. Perhaps we can lure it away somehow?
Yeah, maybe. I'll have a think. Tiny white flowers. They look like trumpets. Tiny white. Nadine?
Yes?
So, what do you know about badgers?
Not too much, but some. They live underground, and they're nocturnal, so it really shouldn't be out here in the daytime.
Doesn't that mean it's probably rabid?
That's possible, but I suspect it's here protecting the coyote.
Could we try scaring the badger away? What are they afraid of?
I'd advise against that. Badgers can be vicious. You wouldn't want to provoke it.
Can you tell what's wrong with the coyote?
Not without a closer look. We need to do something about that badger.
Got any ideas for getting the badger away?
Perhaps if you found something for it to eat, or we could use the herbs around here to our advantage. I could prepare a sedative with the right plants.
What would a badger want to eat?
They normally burrow for rodents. I don't believe we'll have much luck with that, but I believe they'll eat mostly anything. Roots, fruit, reptiles, eggs. I don't think they're particularly fussy.
What would you need to sedate the badger?
Around here, there should be 2 plants that will do. Valerian and the golden poppy. Valerian is identifiable by small white flowers with slightly purple edges. Golden poppies have a distinct orange flower that looks like a cup.
I'll keep an eye out. Thanks for the help. Tiny white flowers. They look like trumpets. Orange flowers. Striking little purple flowers. Orange flowers that look like small cups. A dead branch. Must have come from that tree over there. White flowers with purple edges. I found you some golden poppy.
Nice work. Thank you.
Here. This is valerian, right?
It is indeed. Thank you. Very good, Harley. Easy now. I've got something you'll like. Here you are. It's tasty, yes? This is just for you. You'll be having a nice sleep soon enough. Now, let's see about our friend here. Aw, poor thing. 2 puncture wounds in his hind leg. This coyote was bitten by a snake.
Is there anything we can do?
Yes, but we'll need to be quick. I'll try to remove the venom and treat the wound. I think I saw some snake root nearby. It has clusters of white star-shaped flowers. Please look for it quickly.
Okay, I'm on it. Tiny white flowers. They look like trumpets. This one's got clusters of whitish flowers. This bush has clusters of white star-shaped flowers. I managed to find some snake root.
And just in time, too. Relax, friend. This will help. There. I think you'll be all right.
Incredible. You're quite the healer.
I do what I can. We should head back to the wagon. We can gather a few more herbs on the way. Well, that was certainly an eventful excursion.
Sure was.
You know, it made me think of an old story about two other animal friends. I haven't thought about it in years, but it just came back to me.
Go on then, let's hear it.
Okay, but first,
What are you doing?
you'll see. Now then. A fox mother was carrying her kits to a new den, one by one, when suddenly a hunter leapt out and gave chase. The mother dropped the kit she was holding and ran off, leading the hunter into the woods. Mewling in confusion, the kit stumbled away and tumbled down a steep hill, landing in a stream at the bottom of a ravine. He blacked out. When the young fox woke alone on the bank of the stream, he started to yip and yowl. Nearby, a turtle poked her head out of her shell and peered at him. "What's all that noise?" she asked. "I'm alone and I don't know where my home is," Fox cried. "I don't see what's so bad about being alone," Turtle said. "And if you carried your home with you like I do, you'd always know where it is." "I'm hungry too," said Fox, just realizing his stomach was rumbling. "Hungry?" Turtle said. "How can you be hungry when the water is full of delicious larvae?" And with that, she gulped up a large mouthful. Fox tried to follow Turtle's example and ate some of the tiny larvae, but they weren't very tasty and didn't fill him up. Turtle began to slowly walk away downstream. Fox followed. Now, night was falling, and it was getting colder. "Is there room in your home for me?" Fox asked. "No," said Turtle. Fox whimpered and lay down in the mud, shivering. Turtle went inside her shell to sleep, but she couldn't forget the pitiful sight of the lost kit. "Poor Fox," Turtle sighed. "You can borrow my shell, just for a while. We'll take turns." Turtle took her shell off, and Fox tried to crawl inside. He could only fit halfway, and it felt like all his bones were breaking, but he was grateful. Just then, a huge owl, seeing Turtle lying there unprotected, seized her in its claws and was about to carry her away. Yipping furiously, Fox kicked the shell off and chased the mean old owl away. "That was close, thank you," Turtle said. She went back into her shell, and Fox lay beside her, keeping watch. After that, Fox and Turtle continued to travel together. Turtle discovered she could see farther and travel much faster by riding on Fox's head. She guided Fox to all the best spots for catching larvae and other tasty things, enough to fill both of their bellies. Fox found a curved piece of bark that fit him better than Turtle's too small shell. He carried it in his mouth during the day and slept under it at night, and Turtle had no fear of any predator, because Fox would bare his fangs and scare off anyone who threatened her. In this way, Turtle and Fox wandered from place to place until they had visited every part of the land, and both grew old and happy.
Now that's not a bad story. Thanks for sharing it.
My pleasure.
So where did you hear the story?
Actually, I read it in a book. Myths and Legends of the Native Vespuccians. Dr. Sedgwick bought it from a traveling bookseller. I think he was of two minds about giving it to me. On the one hand, I know he considered it frivolous heathen claptrap. But on the other hand, he thought it might be meaningful to me, having something connected to my origins. He was right. I cherished that book, devoured it. It was written by a white man who was supposed to have traveled all around the country collecting native folk tales. Sometimes I wonder if he ever left the publishing office in Bright Bay. Maybe he just made them all up. I preferred to believe that there was something authentic about them, though.
They're good stories, right? They spoke to you? That's all that really matters. I like to think that storytelling is universal. Tell a compelling yarn and anyone can enjoy it.
Maybe you're right. I just wish I had something that I knew was really from my own people.
Well, that's understandable. Anyhow, I liked the way you told it. It's your story now.
That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Here, for you.
Oh, this is really well done. Thank you.
Shall we head back now?
Sure. Let's go.